Hello, everyone. Today we are talking about the play that goes wrong. I'm probably going to mistakenly refer to this as the show that goes wrong a few times. I know I'm breaking the format because I don't have a pre show clip like I almost always do, but I mean, it's just things are going wrong, right? I'm recording this on Sunday, April 19th, but I saw it on Friday, April 17th. And on that night, there were storms and tornado watches and tornado warnings and some tornadoes. And I was going with a friend. So, I just didn't really think about doing a clip. There was no good time for me to do a clip beforehand. And afterwards, after driving in the storms back home, I didn't feel like doing one then either. So, no starting clip. I'm hesitant to, and like you can see, my program has gotten beat up because it was pouring rain as we were walking out. So I was trying to protect it by putting it under my shirt, but it has gone wrong. I hesitate to say too much about this because if ever there was a show for people that maybe don't necessarily go to a lot of shows, holy cow, this would be a great one. It was so funny. In a lot of ways, it was similar to what I said with the Sherlock Holmes show. That was just like hilariously funny. With that one, I wasn't expecting it to be funny, so that was a pleasant surprise. With this one, I was expecting it to be funny, but it just blew me away with how funny it was. Also, not that this, in my opinion, is better or worse, it's just different, but some people might consider it better or worse. In the Sherlock play, the actors themselves were breaking and in on the laughter and in on all the jokes and stuff. And this, everyone kept a straight face. I don't know how they did it, but they all literally, as the set is falling down and the floor is falling out and people are sliding from it, like incredible, incredible. Like I was genuinely nervous multiple times during the show because even though I knew the gimmick of things going wrong, there were things that like looked like they might actually be going wrong until it was addressed, and then I was like, okay, all right, it's all good. But man, it was very, very good. Um, they had to come out and like make an announcement before the show about the weather. They said they had people keeping an eye on it, and that they would let us know. And I'm just like, you're gonna have to make sure you actually let us know that it's not part of the show, because there were a few times, excuse you, where the audience, members of the audience, either said something, like called out to one of the actors, or there was like some clapping in some specific spots that I wondered if they were part of it, like if they were cued to say those things as part of the show or to start clapping at those points as part of the show. Because there's like one character who, he did like a big jump or something, and the audience started clapping, and then he's like, "Oh yeah, yeah, thanks." So like, part of me wonders if those people were asked to do that, or if they were just people that worked at the theater that were in back behind the audience, so that it sounded like it came from the audience. And I only say that because there were maybe 3 or 4 times that happened, and it always sounded like it came from the same area. But I suppose it could have just been a an extroverted audience member that kept doing it. Sorry, my cat is being suspicious. What are you doing? What are you looking for? No, don't go up there. Don't go up. No. Get down. Get down. She doesn't follow directions. She's on my PS5. Get down. 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 Thank you. Lost my train of thought. It could have just been someone that wanted to, you know, heckle or whatever, or be heard. So I don't know. But All the actors did a great job. I'm gonna say some things, so like, if you have a chance to go see this, do it. I'm gonna try not to spoil anything too much, but like, it's funny. I went to see this in LaSalle. It's also playing in DeKalb right now. That started there last week, but LaSalle's just closer to me, so I waited for this week to go see. But like, if it pops up again, I might go see it again because it was insanely funny. At one point, there's a character who the actress playing the character. So there's a show within the show, right? We are watching a fake production of a show. And so the actress for one of the characters, she gets knocked out by someone opening a door and slamming into her. So then one of the stagehands comes on and has to fill in for that role. So they put the wig on her and they like tie the dress around her neck, but she's still got all her stagehand clothes on. So she's like reading the script, you know, and has really bad line delivery, but like, you know, that's the point. It's comedic, and then eventually the actress regains consciousness and she comes in to take her part back over, but the stagehand doesn't want to give it up, so they're like fighting each other for who can keep playing the part. And before that happens, at one point, the stagehand who's reading for the part, she trips and she drops her script and the pages goes everywhere. So then she just has to guess at what she thinks the dialogue is based on the context. But all of the other actors playing all the other roles still say the scripted lines, so we can tell that she's saying the completely wrong thing, right? Like, she'll be sitting perfectly still or something like that, and they'll be like, oh no, you're having another one of your episodes. Like, so it's very clear that she's doing the wrong thing. So funny, and like multiple actors are all doing it. And then, like I said, the two of them fight to take the role back over again. At one point, the director of the fake show, he has to fill in for the role also, because one of them has gotten stuck inside of a grandfather clock. But then I forget why he leaves, or he might also get incapacitated. I don't remember. But at one point, this character is supposed to be lying on a chase, which I'll come back to if I remember. So they just pick up the whole grandfather clock and lay it on the chase. But then the stagehand version of the actress comes back out and she just climbs and jumps on top of the chase, or on top of the grandfather clock that's on top of it's so funny. And I say chase because at one point there's a character that sits down on it and there's like a ledger there, and he's like, what's this? And he puts it underneath. And then later in the show there's an inspector, because it's supposed to be, the fake show is a murder mystery. So the inspector is looking for this ledger, and someone in the audience shouts out to him. They're like, it's under the couch. And he, like, again, I'm not sure if this person in the audience was supposed to be saying these things or if they were just whatever. But he kind of like, struggling to find the word. I'm distracted by my cat. He kind of like pushes back on her a little bit, but like kind of acknowledges it, kind of moves forward and ignores what she said. Dude, can you not be so loud? Midnight. Thank you. But then he like does go to talk to someone in the front row, and I don't remember what they say, but it seems like he's following what they say. But then at one point he says, it's a chase, not a couch. You should know better. And I don't know if any of my circle of friends that knows the chase video is watching this, but there's an old comedy video. I don't even remember what it was from or what it was for or what. It's just a skit that someone is sitting on a chase and he just keeps saying, it's a chase, and like it's this running thing or whatever. And some of my friends, my cat is just all sorts of wild today. What are you doing? Knocking stuff over. My friends got a sofa with a chase built into it, and so now it's just a regular joke at their house. A chase. So when he said that in the play, no one cares about this. This is meant something to me though. And then again, I'm trying not to like give everything away, but just so you have an idea of the nonsense. There's a second level, right? Like a second story study that many of the scenes take place in. And it's a platform that's built into two corner walls, and then there's one post running up, and there's no railing on it. And like I had actually not looked into, but I had seen like the character notes for when they were doing auditions for this. So I knew that there was an elevated platform with no safety railing as part of the show, and I'm just like, man, that's intense, right? Like you got it. And nothing crazy happens with that in the first act. There's like an elevator that we just see the doors, and it's implied that there's an elevator behind the doors, but like the elevator breaks down and there's smoke going on everywhere. I don't remember if that actually happens in Act 1 or Act 2, but throughout the show the elevator breaks. And after the intermission, I was just looking at that platform, and it like the one corner of it. So if it's on this wall, and then the post is here, there is like this. Well, actually, it would have been on the other side. So this wall, and the post was here, and this corner of it, which was by the wall but not anchored to it, it was like visibly, not a lot, but just moving around a little bit, which I hadn't noticed in the first act. And I'm sitting in my seat and I'm just like, is there actually something wrong with this platform? Like that looks unstable. It looked stable in the first act. So like it made me nervous just as someone that has a fear of heights, but like it looked stable. It does not look stable now. Like did something actually go wrong? And later throughout the act, the whole platform literally like tips and jumps up and down and moves around. And like, again, once I realized that it was part of the show, which was like immediately, right, as it started moving and the characters didn't all lose their minds, I'm like, okay, this is part of it. But when I just saw it wobbling, I was very nervous about it. You got other like silly things, like there are multiple characters. Well, there are multiple times where a character that's supposed to be dead either reacts to something, like at one point he's got his hand laying down off of the chase and someone walks by and he's like like as if he stepped on his fingers, and like he gets stuck in a room that he's not supposed to be in, and he just kind of looks at the audience and he goes and just backs out of the room, and there's like a door that doesn't open when it's supposed to open, and it's a fireplace mantle that like before the show started, you could see the stagehands messing with it, and it's like the show had started before the show started. And so then when the show actually starts, they're just like, just leave it. And the stagehands are like, but you need it. It's in the script. And he's like, just leave it. We don't have time. And so they like go to set things on the mantle, and the stagehands stick their hands through the set and just hold on to the things. And like when the door doesn't open, the characters, you can hear them stepping around to the side of the set, and then they get to the other side and they step back to the door, and they're like, all right, we're in. And it's just very, very funny. I'm sure there are a ton of things that I forgot about. I mean, there's a whole series of comedy bits regarding a window and the snow outside. At one point, oh my gosh, there's a scene with 4 actors. 4, maybe 5 actors. Where they get into a dialogue loop. And all of them, except for one of them, is aware that they're in a dialogue loop. And they keep all saying the same thing over and over. And it's not like just a one line back and forth. It's like not a whole scene, but like a whole conversation that keeps looping around, and the guy that's triggering it is the only one that's not aware of it. So as it's going on, it like part of the comedy of this scene is that early in the play, they ask the butler to go get, I don't know what kind of alcohol, but they ask him to go fetch a drink for everyone, right? And I kind of missed exactly what happened, but somehow the bottle of whatever the beverage is gets swapped for like a gallon jug of vinegar. And so he's pouring scotch. They keep saying scotch. He's pouring everyone this scotch, which is, it's really probably water, right? But it's vinegar. So they still take the drink, but then they immediately they spit it out, but they still say the lines. They're like, "Oh, that hit the spot," or "Oh, I really needed that," or whatever the line is. So that has happened throughout the play, and then we get to this dialogue loop, and one of the lines of dialogue is, I forget what his name is, like Perkins or something. "Don't jump up there." They're like, "Perkins, pour everyone another scotch." "Oh, certainly, sir." And so they keep taking these drinks of this vinegar and spitting out, and they keep having to say the lines like, "Oh, that really hit the..." And you would think, I think most people would think that in this situation, right, of this dialogue loop, comedy happens in threes, right? So I was fully expecting it to happen 3 times, and then they move on. And then the 4th time comes, and I'm just like, how long is this going to go? Don't jump up there. Don't jump up there. But it doesn't get tiresome because all the other actors that don't jump up there, all the other actors that are aware that they're in a dialogue loop, their delivery is changing and they're getting more and more frustrated. And that is building the tension, even though the dialogue is just looping. So it goes through a 4th time. It starts a 5th time. And I believe the 5th time is the last time. I could be wrong. But whatever the last time is, instead of drinking their drinks, they'll throw it on the butler. And like the last line of the loop before it restarts is, "So who could have killed them?" And the line that triggered the loop is, "That's a good question, sir," right? So like every time they get to the end of the loop, "So who could have killed them?" And everyone waits to see, and there's like, "That's a good question, sir." And we're like, "Oh my gosh," And so finally they all throw their drinks on him, and they all go up to him and grab him. They're like, "So who could have killed him?" And then it's like, "It would have had to be someone in this room." And they're all like relieved that they've broken out of the dialogue loop. And during this scene, it's the stagehand playing the one role, and she pretty quickly stops taking the actual drinks of the vinegar, and she just goes, and like at some point she doesn't even dump it out. She's just holding the glass, and the glass just keeps getting more and more filled up. I'm sure that the way I'm describing it probably just sounds dumb or stupid or whatever, but I promise you, it is hilarious. I was losing my mind. There's another, like, the audience was laughing a lot, but I feel like I was laughing a little bit more than the average person. But there was like one other person who was probably some like 60-year-old lady, a couple rows behind me. Her and I kept laughing at like the same jokes that other people either they missed or they just didn't find them as funny as we did. But I was very, very, like I said, I expected it to be happy, but I was so I was expecting it to be funny, but I was happily surprised with just how funny it was and how many ways it was funny. Because there's the slapstick, the subverting expectations, the line delivery, the writing of the line. Like, it was just so good. And I mean, again, there were tornadoes going on, so people's phones, those emergency signals that, like, even if you turn your phone on silent, those are going off. Mine is going off. My mom is texting me, angry that I'm not at my house, but I'm just like, my house, I don't have a basement. My house isn't any safer than this theater. Like, so again, just like phones going off. Normally that would be annoying and disruptive, but like it's the play that goes wrong. So like, of course, people's phones are gonna go off. That just to me that just heightened the experience. So highly recommend it. If it like I said, if it pops up again, I would love to see it again. But I think I've rambled on long enough. Hopefully, I didn't spoil anything too much for people that do want to go see it. But that is the play that goes wrong. And that's going to do it for me. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.